Kiefer, it's been a long time since Bellator Dublin in February with the extended layoff. Just tell us how excited you are to be back into a fight week now.
Buzzing to be here, to be honest. After my last fight, we went straight into the pandemic, into lockdown, and the world fucking changed. So I didn't think I was going to see another fight this year, to be honest. So I'm very grateful to be here, to be honest. And fair play to Bellator, you know what I mean? They went above and beyond for us. They made it happen, and I'm super grateful to be here. Yeah, so can't wait to get in and do the job.
You referenced that last fight there. It was a tight contest in the end, a split decision. You got the win. What did you learn from that fight?
You know, that adversity makes champions of men. You know what I mean? I had a hard week, but fuck it, it is what it is. Look, fights don't always get finished. I beat that man on a really bad week. You know what I mean? So that just proves who I am as a person. You know what I mean? I know who I am. I know how good I am. It was a hard week. It was a hard night. Like, literally battled a lot of personal stuff going into that fight, as everyone knows the full story, and it was tough. Still showed up when many people would have pulled out. Still got in there when many people would have been rattled by the whole thing. Bear in mind as well, I was the biggest draw in the event. Sold most of the tickets for the whole arena. Co-main event. I had thousands of people coming to see me live. So-called pressure on my shoulders. And baby, only a couple of days before the fight, all that shit couldn't wait. And I still showed up and I still won. So it is what it is. There's no point on bringing up the past anymore. I'm 9-0. I'm undefeated. And on Saturday night, I'll be 10-0.
And the reception that night for you in particular was electric.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Saturday is going to be very, very different. And you're a guy that seems to really feed off the energy from the crowd. So how do you think you're going to be able to deal with a behind closed doors event this week?
It really doesn't matter, to be honest. I know Dublin is a unique place to fight. You know what I mean? There's like fucking 12,000 people on their feet going mental, and it's almost like you can't. It's so loud you can't hear anything, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You have to experience it. It's not even noise. It's just vibrations, and you can feel it. A Saturday night, it doesn't matter. It gets back to that real fight. You know what I mean? One-on-one, man-on-man, fighting in a cage. No people, no noise, no nothing, just fighting. And that's who I am as a person. I grew up fighting. You know what I mean? I've been fighting my whole life. This is nothing. The only difference is I used to get handed charge sheets when I got into fights. Now I get handed paychecks. So I'm living the dream. You know what I mean? I get rewarded for doing this. So I'm literally living the dream, to be honest. So happy days.
Sean?
Hi, Kiefer. The first thing I want to ask you is about what you were talking about there coming into this fight, and the difference maybe not necessarily on fight night, but in maybe fight week coming up to it. Obviously, a lot less pressure this week. Obviously, we're only a couple of days out now. How are you feeling kind of this week coming into it? Are you feeling like, oh God, I'm more well prepared in terms of I can kind of sit back and think about the fight as compared to the last time you were out?
I can actually get a bit of a sleep this week. You know what I mean? I still have a newborn baby in the gaff. You know what I mean? I haven't been sleeping great, but I woke up asleep last night, and I woke up, I was like, Jay, no crying or nothing, so I feel great. I feel like I'm on a holiday. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? I'm chilled out. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying life. I mean, as I said, look at the past few months, what the world has been going through. This has been a mental time for everybody, and a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of businesses have closed down. I have friends of mine that businesses have been shut up shop, and it's horrible to see, and you can't even help them out, do you know what I mean? Because it's nearly impossible, do you know what I mean? And I'm seeing these things, and I know people close to me that are struggling financially, and for me now, I get to go, and I didn't lose my job, you know what I mean? I get to show up to work on Saturday night and do what I love to do and make a lot of money doing it, and you know what I mean? I'm very grateful for that, and I think gratitude is a very, very important, strong emotion to have when you do something in life, you know what I mean? I'm just full of gratitude. I'm happy to be here. I really am, and coming out of lockdown, you know what I mean, I trained hard, and I did all different type of sports and stuff to stay fit and active. And then coming out of the whole lockdown thing and getting back to the gym full-time training, it was like a new surge of energy I'm at there getting into me mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, I realised this is really what I want to do, and I'm just so grateful to be on these mats doing martial arts every day, and I'm in the best shape in my life, you know what I mean? As you can see, you know what I mean? And I'm mentally in the best place in my life because I'm just happy that this is going ahead. And I'm in a good spot right now, and I just can't wait to turn 10-0 on Saturday.
Is there any bit of frustration at all? You know, you were the last few times I talked to you, were talking about going down to 155 pounds, and again, it's a catch weight coming into this bout. Is there a little bit of a frustration that you can't get down, you can't prove the 155 pounds, and kind of get yourself into that division?
Yeah, but this is the thing. I'm supposed to fight Soren back. He signed the contract. I signed the contract. It was a 155 contest, and then he got injured. He pulled out, and then Charlie stepped in, and he couldn't make 155. So I was like, right, whatever, get someone else. But then they liked the fight, so they said 160, and I was like, well, at that stage, I just didn't care. Do you know what I mean? I know Charlie's an experienced opponent. He's fought a lot of good people, and I knew in my head he'll show up to fight. You know what I mean? So I just said, like, let's do that. And but look, I know I could make 145. To be honest, if I had to kill myself, I could make 145. I know my capabilities, and right now, today, what's a Wednesday? I could make weight tonight. You know what I mean? So I don't have to prove to anyone anything. You know what I mean? In my mind, this is a lightweight fight, and that's it. You know what I mean? Who cares about the weight? When the door closes in the cage and we're having a knock, who cares? You know what I mean? No one gives a shit. So, but I am a lightweight. You know what I mean? I said this the last time, but the next one will be a lightweight. But let's see what happens. Who knows? My fucking track record.
Andrew?
Hey, Kiefer. You spoke there, like last fight, you had to basically cut weight in a labour ward. Now you're fighting in isolation in the middle of a pandemic. What is the main takeaway for you this week outside of the usual chaos that would surround you for fight week?
Nothing. I mean, I'm just doing. I don't know. It's all of it. No matter where you are, or what you do, or what fucking no matter what's going on physically, it's all up here. No, that's it. You know what I mean? You can lock me in a room, lock me in this hotel room for a month, and I'll go in there and win the fight. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. It's literally, you have to have that mentality, that bulletproof mindset, that no man can beat me mindset. And I have that, and I firmly believe that. That's why the last fight I had to show up and fight. You know what I mean? Mate, you'll have to kill me, rip my heart down my chest, and dance on it for me not to show up to a fight. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, that's up here, mate. I've been through far harder times and far worse times in my life than fighting another man for a lot of money. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying this. This is handy. This is an enjoyable thing to do. So I don't really care about any chaos or pressure or any of that shit, to be honest. Nothing affects me mentally. Nothing. Zero. So, as I said, all this stuff, again, the quarantine thing, the lockdown is like my life anyway. I go to the gym, I go home. I go to the gym, I go home. The only difference was the gym closed down, so I was like, fuck, I have to adapt and train elsewhere. You know what I mean? The park, or going long bike rides, running and shit like that. But other than that, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy I'm here. I'm in Italy, mate. It's 22 degrees outside. I get to have pizza on Saturday night after winning another fight. I get a big paycheck. I mean, listen, I'm living the life. This is the life. You know what I mean? So, happy days.
You've said before you don't need anyone to tell you how good you are. You know how good you are. I need great people to tell me how to get better. Obviously, you're one of the biggest stars in Bellator now at the moment. How do you pick and choose what advice to take in and who to just, tell to kick rocks?
Yeah, I love people telling me how good I am. So let's re-quote that. Yeah? Tell me how good I am. Tell me how good I am. I don't care. Again, goes back to what I said just there a second ago. I don't really care what anyone says about anything. Do you know what I mean? I'm just looking to learn and looking to improve as a martial artist. And I love training with people that are better than me, that have higher credentials, like black belts, or far more, experience in big organizations, or that have been through the middle of it. I surround myself with champions and winners, with winners' mentalities. I'm always trying to educate myself to get better and better. And that's it. That's all you can do. You know what I mean? At this level, you can plateau if you do the same shit, or you can excel if you mix it up. And I've been mixing it up with some of the best martial artists I can get my hands on, and that's always what I'm looking to do. I never want to be the same. I always want to be stepping up and getting better. So that's my mindset, to be honest. Again, compliments do nothing. Do you know what I mean? For anyone, just boost your ego, and ego is a silent killer of success. So I think that fuck all that and just focus on improvement and focus on education and getting better and learning. And even my physical shape, my nutrition, my nutritionist has been schooling me on how to eat correctly, how to sleep right, what the supplements to take better, and stuff I'd never known before that correlate with my training schedule and making making me spars more energetic and making me feel better and recover better, all that shit. And that bodes well with my life, you know what I mean, making me a better athlete, which makes me a better fighter. So all that stuff, you know what I mean, that's what I'm all into. It's just seeking improvement. That's it, to be honest.
Jake?
Hi, Kiefer. Jake Jones here. You mentioned it a second ago. You are the biggest draw on cards, and it showed at Dublin. You literally electrified that crowd. I said it yesterday, but you're one of the most marketable guys in Bellator MMA. You'll go 10-0 Saturday night. Would you like a main event next?
100%, yeah, 100%. It's time to shine, you know what I mean? Did a couple of interviews during the week, and I mentioned Miles Jury's name, and these are people I'd like to be fighting, all these so-called ex-UFC guys. That'd be a nice main event as well. He's a good fighter, a lot of experience, coming off some wins. He's a big, so-called big name, and as am I. And but there's no point in me saying I'm going to be the best in the world and beat these guys if I'm not fighting these guys. So let's me and Miles Jury do a main event in December over in his neck of the woods in LA. How about that?
Ben?
Hi, Kiefer. I know it seems like a world ago now, but I saw on Instagram you were training with Danny O'Donoghue from the Script back earlier in the year. How did that come about?
Yeah, well, Danny, like, obviously, he's mad into his martial arts and into his boxing, and he's been training with my friend Owen Ruddy, as you all know, and me and Owen were chatting one day, and he said he'd like to train, and we just got to talking, and it was it my last fight? I think it was after my last fight, a fight beforehand, maybe a week or two after it. And we just organised a training session up in Ruddy's gym, and clicked it off. He's a bloke from the inner city as well, like myself, that made it, you know, a very successful career for himself. I'm a big fan of the Script as well. Shout out to Danny. And not only that, but he's a beast. You know what I mean? He's a hard worker. He trains every day in martial arts. He's a real martial artist, and he's a real artist. You know what I mean? He's done like dancing and singing. He has good coordination. And when I trained with him, I was like fucking blown away by how good he was. So shout out to Danny and the boys in the Script. It's good to see people from the inner city actually excelling and doing something great in that field. And I'm from the inner city, and I'm doing something great in my field. And I think when you get two people that are doing great things, we clicked and we hit it off straight away. So yeah, he's always in touch with me. He's always texting me. We always text each other back and forth and all. So he's 100%, Danny is, yeah.
Andy?
Hey, Kiefer, you spoke about surrounding yourself with fighters that are more experienced with you and learning from them. You're fighting a 25-fight vet in Charlie Leary. What would a win over a more experienced opponent like that do for your career?
Like, again, it's all about winning, isn't it? So, like, I mean, you have to just win. That's nothing else matters but winning. So for my career, again, it just sets me up that I'm coming off a win. I'm 10-0, and I'm making noise. I'm doing my thing, and building myself up. I'm moving on. I'm moving up, and you know what I mean? Like a little step closer to a bigger name or a more experienced lad or a belt or whatever. I respect Charlie. I think he's a very tough opponent. I think he's good stylistic matchup, if that's what you want to call it. He comes to fight, and I like that about him. And I just think it's a good fight. I think it's a very good fight. And he's on in for a treat on Saturday night.
Nathan?
Kiefer, James was kind of mentioning, obviously the last few months have been tough in Ireland and the rest of the world with the lockdown, but on a personal level, it's kind of benefited him in terms of much less distractions in the world to focus on training, different parts of training. You mentioned trying different sports, he mentioned a couple of other things. Would you agree with that?
No, you know what I mean? The lockdown hasn't been a positive on anyone, I don't think. I think people, again, try to change their mindset and say, it's been great for me, but that's just a selfish thing to say. The lockdown has been shite. It's been brutal. The pandemic has been horrendous. It's been fucking, there's no positivity that's come out of this, I don't think. I think people have to just get back to normality. And, again, discipline is not a problem with me. It's whether the world is stopped or whether the world is haywire. I'm disciplined, do you know what I mean? And I think it's time for the world to get back to normal now and people to get back to their regular routines. And people are going through some very, very hard times, and it's sickening to see, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? They're not highlighting all them things. They're highlighting fucking a couple of cases getting thrown here and there, and it's sad, but they're not highlighting businesses closing down, people suffering with their mental health, and suicide rates going up, and families having to move into hostels, and kids having to be homeless in tents, walking around the inner city of Dublin, seeing families on the fucking streets. That's the negative part of it. And again, coming back to the gratitude, I'm very grateful that I'm in a position, and I've worked hard enough to be in a position that's not me, and I've worked hard to have money in my bank and have a roof over my head for my kids and my girlfriend and be able to take care of me ma Do you know what I mean? And do shit like that. And on Saturday night, again, I'm going into this fight full of gratitude, understanding all of these things. The world has been crazy, and it hasn't affected me with, you know, the sickness or anything like that, or money, or, you know, and I'm very, very happy for that, and I'm grateful. But I've worked very hard for many years, so. But no, I think yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's whether, you know, lockdown keeps us all disciplined, but not really, to be honest. It hasn't really done much for that. I didn't need the lockdown to get more disciplined. I was disciplined in the first place.
All right, Kiefer, thank you very much for the time, and good luck the rest of the week.
Thanks very much, guys.
Next up, we have Sinead Kavanagh.